Pam, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I found this drill, so I'm fixing, it wobbles a little bit, so I thought I'd fix it.
Oh, that's not for the set. That's for making jewelry.
You make jewelry with
the drill.
With drills?
Yes.
Get out.
Yeah, I'll show you today.
Oh, really?
Yes, on our show.
Oh, it's Jewelry Junkie TV.
That's right.
Yeah. Everyone out there, all you beaders out there, it's Pam Healy.
Hi, and I'm Genevieve Martineau.
And we're Jewelry Junkie TV. Welcome. Today, we're going to be making jewelry.
Using power tools.
Using power, yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it.
All right, so what we're going to do today is we are going to make some wire beads and wire components, and then I'll show you what you can do with them.
All right, that sounds
it's a pretty fun thing to do.
It sounds like fun.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let's talk about some of the
wire,
the tools that we need in order to make this.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you're going to start with some basic beading tools. I've got a cutter, round nose plier, chain nose plier, and flat nose.
And
these are just basic wire working tools. You can get them at any store. And actually, we're not going to use them a whole lot, but it's kind of good to have them handy.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Always good.
Then you're going to need wire. And so basically, I just put out an assortment of different wires that I had. They can be any gauge, anything from 24 gauge, 22, 20, lots of different gauge wires. Yeah. And those are going to be for making the beads.
You don't do the heavy ones, though.
I don't really go very heavy. No, not that heavy. The heavy one, I brought this one is a 16 gauge copper. I brought this heavy one, and this is going to be for our core.
Okay. Yeah.
But for making the wire beads, we're going to stick with sort of medium weight.
So basically like a 22.
22 is a great size. Yep.
Yeah, that is a great size for a lot of things, though. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
18 to 22 seems to be.
18, 20, 22, yeah. I sort of circle around those.
Yes, you do. I noticed that there was a pattern there.
All right. You're also going to need some masking tape. I like to use the blue painting masking tape.
Yes.
The best because it tends not to be super sticky the way regular masking tape is. So we are going to need to use this and then take it off. So you want to be able to get it off again.
Okay, so you're not using this to put over my mouth.
Oh, what a good idea. All right. Then you're going to want a variable speed drill. And the key is that it needs to be a variable speed drill.
Variable speed drill. That means a drill of many speeds.
Okay. The key with a variable speed drill is that when you pull the trigger,
yes, ma'am,
you can hear this noise. So you basically want to be able to make sure that drill can go slowly. It's sort of like opposite of what most guys want. Oh. We want a drill that goes slow.
So it's not.
Right. We don't want that. We want the slow. Yes. Okay. We like that slow sound. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what helps us make these beads. All right. So make sure that when you go to the hardware store, you look for the variable speed drill. And they do not have to be 18 volts the way this one is. This is a 9 volt, and that works just as well. I just brought this one because it stands pretty well. Mm-hmm. So the battery kind of keeps it standing.
You don't have to get an expensive drill either. There's a variety of sizes and also a variety of prices I noticed on these.
Yes, I don't remember what I paid for these. I basically bought what I could find.
Sounds good.
So finally, the last thing you're going to want is some sort of a metal rod.
Yeah.
And the metal rod is going to be the core of the bead. Like this is the whole of the bead.
A metal rod, where would you find a metal rod?
So I got these ones at a welding supply store.
Oh.
So I make lampwork beads, and so these are the rods that I use for that.
Oh, for the lampwork.
But basically, if you just go to the hardware store, again, just look for some sort of a metal rod.
So while you're picking up the drill,
exactly,
you pick up the rods.
And you can get these in like 3-foot lengths and just cut them down. You don't need many. I brought several just to show you, but in fact, you want maybe some thinner ones and some thicker ones, and these are the size of the hole, okay?
Right.
I also find that the ones that are straighter work better. So for example, some of these kind of have gotten bent up in time.
Yes.
So before I use them, I try to straighten them up a bit. It's not a perfect science, but it tends to work better if you can see them to be straight.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we have everything we need, so I'm going to start by showing you some things we can do. All right?
Yes,
so I'm just going to I'm just arbitrarily picking some wire.
Green,
and
good color.
So we're going to start with the green one on.
Yeah.
And so basically, I like to start with, I don't know, 3 feet of wire.
3 feet.
Yep, it doesn't really matter how many feet you start with, but this will give us a nice long length. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of masking tape.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take one of my rods, and I'm using the thicker one because you can see it better on the show.
Okay.
All right. So basically, I'm going to take my tape.
Yeah.
And I'm going to attach the rod and the wire in the tape, and just make sure it's on there nice and firmly.
Okay. So you attach the wire with the rod.
Yes, in the masking tape. And then if there's any excess, I like to cut it off because
it gets in the way.
You don't want to have like that falling into your drill.
Yeah.
All right, so then what you're going to do is you want to basically put this in the nose of the drill. So I'm just opening this up and I'm centering it in the drill and making sure it's good and tight. All right?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, that seems pretty tight. All right, and then the other thing is you want to check which way that drill is turning. So you can kind of do a little preview, and it's turning away from me, which that seems like a good idea. So you kind of will find your groove. Like some people would prefer away, some people would prefer towards. But I'm going to do it away at this time. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my thumb to kind of control the green wire.
Okay.
That's coming perpendicular to the rod. The rod is coming straight out. And so basically you want to start this thing slow.
And you're holding it with your thumb and index finger.
Yes, my forefinger is basically controlling everything. And so I'm just going slowly.
Guiding it.
And guiding it, exactly. I'm really not putting a whole lot of tension on it or anything, but as I turn it nice and slowly, I get a beautiful coil.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And so basically I just do this, and I try to do it without letting go. I don't really like to do a whole lot of starting and stopping, because sometimes when you do that, you'll notice gaps.
And that's true.
Yep. So I'm just, be careful that the wire doesn't flick you in the face. And I'm just keeping
steady as
a
you go.
steady hand.
Wow, 2 feet, that's long.
Yeah, and sometimes I find that my hand gets tired and I do want to take a break.
Yeah.
I try to work through it as much as I can. Like right now, I'm pretty tired.
Oh, I believe it. Look at, you have 2 inches there at least.
Yep. So basically, I'm just making like a little length. Now, when you get to the end, and you only have like an inch left, stop the drill.
That's when you stop.
Yeah, you don't really want it to go under your thumb.
No.
So it kind of hurts.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So there we go. Okay, so now I have this beautiful coil. Okay? Doesn't that look nice?
The magic of drills.
All right, so then I'm going to loosen that up, get that out, and then this is the part where I was saying you need to be able to take the tape off. So I basically will take my coil off, and then I will concentrate on getting the tape off.
Of course.
All right.
And you want something that isn't too sticky.
Well, you know, I've used all different kinds of tapes, but you need to have like a tape that can, is grippy inside.
Right.
So using a Scotch tape does not work.
No.
And if you use the painter's tape, it's less sticky than regular masking tape. I did bring masking tape in case for some reason there was...
Well, that's what I was wondering about.
You end up with a lot of tape mess. So I basically, then what I do whenever I make a coil is then I take my cutter and I cut off any excess pieces. And I basically, you know, I'll just use my pliers to tuck those in. So tuck everything in.
Okay, gotta show.
So I'm just tucking it in. And it's not like a fancy, you know, I just try to make it look nice. All right?
She's basically grabbing the end piece of the wire and she is putting it closer to the coil.
Yeah, just so
That's
it's...
basically what she's doing.
Right. So
It's kind of difficult to see because it's so small.
So, for example, so a reason I brought this
Yes.
thicker wire was basically if you cut like a few inches of it,
Yes.
and then you can use this as your core to a bracelet. Okay, so let's say this is going to be the bracelet. So basically, you can take this coil,
Wow.
and you can put it on, and you just using that with some beads on it.
Well, you can put the stoppers. They have stoppers now that you can put
Yeah,
on.
but you can also put like pretty different kinds of beads that have a hole that will fit over this size.
Oh, and then you're gonna you can curl the end.
So I just wanted to show people
What
that
you
you
can
can
do.
use the coils just in themselves, you know,
Right.
make a pretty nice finish to a bracelet. All right, so that's one idea.
One idea.
Okay, so,
First idea, bracelet.
all right, well, just plain coil, okay?
Just plain coil.
Right, and I like to call it coil stock because I like to make a whole bunch of coils and then have them sort of, so I have lots to work with.
Stock of coil.
Yes. All right, so now what I'm going to do is why don't I make a super big bead with this, okay?
Yes.
Normally I don't make beads using this long of a coil,
I was thinking
but
that.
I'm going to do that right now anyway.
You are?
Yes.
Okay.
All
Are
right.
you going to use the drill again, or?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
All right, so what color do you like with green? How about red?
I like everything with
How about,
green.
let's do the red. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the next thing, I'm going to take some more wire. And this time, I'm going to just get rid of this since it has a really strong...
It's kind of bendy.
All right, so this time I'm only going to take about a foot of wire, okay? And I use the bead mat. The bead mat
Yes.
is 11 inches, so
Exactly.
that's about a foot, okay?
Yes.
Then what I'm going to do is take another little piece of tape.
And the thing about measuring, too, it's not a perfect science.
No, although it is good
It's
to...
better to go a little bit too much than
Well,
less,
in this
right?
case, if you're trying to make things that are a certain size, it's
Yeah.
good to have some, once you get some practice, you get a good idea of
What size
what
is
size will make.
Right. I think as an old lady, yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm attaching the wire
Yes,
to
you are.
the rod,
Okie dokie.
okay? And I'm going to put that into the nose of the drill again.
It's amazing. It opens up.
The drill, yep, it
Opens up, and then when you do that, it closes.
Yeah.
To tighten it, and
I'm
it
just
really
making sure it's
holds it
tight.
well, huh?
Yeah, but you do want to make sure it's tight, because if you do it too loose, it could fall apart.
And you don't want that to
Okay,
happen.
so what I'm going to do again
Yes,
is I'm
ma'am.
going to start coiling, and I'm going to do like about five. All right, so I did about 5, all right?
All right.
I could do a little bit more if I want.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did like
Okay.
6. Then I'm going to take my coil stock, and I'm going to put it on, and hopefully I won't run out, because it is a little bit on the long side. I maybe should have cut more. So if I make a mistake, you'll see a mistake. All right, now,
Right.
this is the hardest part, because what you're going to do is you're going to use your thumb and your forefinger to push the coil stock onto the rod. But basically, you want it to be loose enough also that the red can continue turning around.
Right.
So sometimes this takes a little practice, and sometimes what will happen is the coil will be pushing off, and it will push off, and you won't be able to get it on.
you don't want that.
Right, so you really have to kind of make an effort to get it on.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to...
So basically, you are
I'm
You're
pushing.
giving it a little bit of a push.
Right, all right, so I'm getting it on,
Yep,
and then when I get to the end, I continue with the red and make it match the second side.
right.
All right. All right, so now I've got a little
bead.
bead. All right, so I'm going to loosen that up
Yeah.
and pull it out. And then now, again, I'm going to trim up my ends,
Right.
make sure everything is tidy. I like to work tidy now
Yeah.
because at the end, later on, I don't like doing it. So I like to do a little bit of pain along the way.
No, I understand that.
And so basically, I'm just, again, see, I'm trying to get this out
Yeah,
and then off. Okay.
yeah.
So now I take my tools again and I just
Again, she's going to be
tuck it in, make sure.
tucking them in, right.
Yep, make sure it looks good. Okay? And so tuck that in.
My favorite colors.
All right, so now we have a little red and green bead. And so
Yeah.
you can see, you can just put that on and you can put some other beads around it.
You can make more beads.
And you can make more beads.
You can make a smaller one.
Right, so why don't I make another piece of coil stock?
Yeah.
Of coil.
Okay.
And I'll do that one. Where did I put the green? Here's the green.
Yeah.
I'll do that one in green again, just so you can see. So this one I'll do 3 feet again, just for kicks.
Okay.
Just so you can get an idea of what it looks like to
Yes.
mix and match.
Okay.
Okay?
Don't forget we have other colors here.
I know.
We have purple.
We'll do purple next.
Oh, good. And plum. Plum. Awesome. Beautiful
Okay.
colors. Nice.
And you can use, I just chose craft wire for today,
Okay.
but you could, there's no reason why you couldn't use sterling silver. It makes beautiful pieces. So you can use higher quality metals or lower quality metals. You can just, it's all pretty.
I think the craft metal is good for practicing
Yes, it's great for
Because-
practicing.
because it's less expensive, and you can, it's good. You're not going to get this right away. This is not the type of, I don't think so. Although I'll be honest, this is one of the first things I did with you, and I loved it. It wasn't exactly perfect like your things, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
And
so,
because I thought for sure it was going to look terrible, but it turned out to look pretty good.
all right. All right, so I made a second piece.
That's awesome.
I did that one a little more quickly. And see there,
Yeah.
I lost my tape in the thing, so I want to just make sure, there I get it.
There.
Okay, so I'm just going to show people what that looks like, and I'm going to show you another technique.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we'll just clean this up.
Let me take that.
It's okay.
I can get that away from you. Put that over here.
All right, so I'm cleaning up again.
Yes, you are.
And now, one of the things that I like to do is I basically will look for the center of the coil, and I'll take my fingernail and just put it in there and kind of fold the coil out. So I like folding it.
Okay.
And then
Like
I
folding
can,
it in half.
Yep. Then I can get my cutter in there,
And you have two pieces.
and I have 2 pieces.
Wow.
Or multiple pieces.
Yeah.
All right, and so then again, I just go
Tucking it back in.
tuck it in now.
Because if you don't tuck it in, even though it's tiny, you'd be surprised how many things it can,
can catch or whatever.
And it hurts.
Yep. All right, so now I'm just going to show you, like I could put, and I didn't bring any beads today, just I didn't think to, but basically,
Oh, yeah, we didn't bring any samples.
but
I don't know where mine are.
that's all right. So basically, you can see what it would look like if you start building something. All right, so now I'm going to show you another technique. You're going to be my helper.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okie dokie.
let's do this one with the black one on.
Oh, cool.
Okay, and so this time I'm going to use 3 feet twice.
Oh,
All right, so now,
so two together.
yeah. So normally I have a little screw that I attach to somewhere in my studio to keep
Yes.
things together, but this time you're going to be my screwball.
I've been called worse things.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I take my piece of wire and I fold it in half like this, okay?
Okay.
And so what I want you to do is I'm going to give you just a tool.
Okay.
Let me do it with this one. All right, I haven't never done it with a person holding it, but I think we can do it. You're just going to hold that. So I want you to stand right there, yep. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape on the two ends now.
Okay.
But we're not going to use a rod this time.
No.
Okay, now what's important with this is tension. So basically, when we do this, you're not going to move. I'm going to move. Okay?
Okay, Pam, don't move.
So when I tell you, you're just going to hold it. So I'm basically, again, getting rid of any extra tape.
Hold it.
Hold on.
I'm holding.
I'm putting this in the drill.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm going to make sure that's good and tight, okay? All right, so really tight. Now this one's really easy for it to pull out because there's not a whole lot holding it in, okay? All right, so what I want you to do is you're just going to hold it right there. I don't want you moving at all, okay?
Okie dokie.
I'll do the moving, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist these together. And as I twist them together, it gets more uniform as it goes.
I remember this.
Yep. And so I'm the one controlling the tension.
Right.
Because I don't want it to pull out of my drill.
Right.
All right, and so what it's doing is the longer I do it, the better, more evenly it goes.
Amazing. Look at it.
Yeah, and so I can look at it and I can determine how even I want it.
Yeah.
All right, and that's pretty great.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice guess.
Okay, so,
Nice jump rope.
all right. Don't bend it up too much. All right.
Oh, you turned it.
Okay, let go.
Let go.
All right, so now what we have is instead of a single wire that is twisted, is one, like that's the single wire,
Yeah.
we're going to take this and we're going to coil it on the rod. So it's going to be a double
Double rod.
twisty one with the rod, okay?
Ooh, cool.
So I'm going to go back to the rod the way I had before. I'm going to tape my wire to the rod again. So all of this should seem very familiar.
Okay.
It's always the same technique, it's just with different methodology. Okay?
Yeah. No. Fun, fun, fun.
All right. So I'm going to tie that up. You go.
I'm sorry.
All right, so tying that up. All right. And now what we're going to do, you want to do it? All right, so now I'm going to take my wire, again with my thumb and my forefinger, and going slowly. And now I'm going to make my coil around there with my twisted wire. And the nice thing about when you're doing it with twisted wire like this, you get like all this shine on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just like a facet on a crystal, you know? It picks up the light and it reflects off of it, and so does the twisted wire.
Cool.
And you can see that the rod is not in quite straight because it's really bending around.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so I must have made this wire a little bit longer.
Wow.
Because I've got a lot of wire.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do with this.
All right, so we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that one.
Okay.
Loosen it up.
Loosen it up. Again.
And you can also use this to make a bead. I don't know that I have time to do that today, but
no.
it's the same technique where you would put a foot of wire in. But
Right.
again, so basically I'm just going to take this stock,
And you're going to tuck it in again.
tuck it in again. I'll just
Trim
do it
and tuck.
quickly. All right.
Trim and tuck.
And again, you can use this coil. You can break it into multiple pieces.
Right.
And I'll just show you that, you
What
know,
it looks like.
what it looks
on-
like on there.
Probably not as flexible.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yep,
Yeah?
it's just longer. So you can see it has a different look to it.
Oh, that's cool.
So doesn't that look pretty?
Yeah, I like that.
So, and then the last thing you could do is you could make another one of those coils using the same technique with this coil.
But imagine doing this with all these different colors. There's purple, plum, blue, bright green. Oh, a lot of fun. But, well, that's the lesson today. We've come to the end of our program already.
Yep. And we could go on and on with this technique.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things you can do.
Right.
You know, I just don't have time to show everything today.
Unfortunately.
But come see me in Melrose and I'll show you how to do it in person.
Yeah, she's a good teacher. She really is. So anyway, so this wraps up this month.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will see you next month on Jewelry Junkie TV. And don't forget,
check our website, jewelryjunkietv.com, for more information.
And we're on Facebook.
That's right. There's a link to Facebook there as well.
So, goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Happy beading.